what I did, Ben, we were talking about Lamar, and Lamar had a list of uh, teams that were out on Lamar. They said, we're not going to pursue Lamar. And people were kind of surprised that, that would happen. And Lamar is a special situation. So I went back and I looked in Madden to look at the playbooks to get an idea about what the teams are actually running now and how many teams would be sort of already there for Lamar without having to do a lot of changes to their playbook. And I saw some really interesting stuff. I heard one commentator when they were talking about Lamar. She said Lamar actually ran on 30% of his plays, which was the most in the NFL. So if you go get Lamar, that's kind of what you're going to get, unless you are, going to coach him out of that and put him in a different system and have him discipline himself there, with that system. So when I look through the playbooks for all 32 teams, and again, Madden has a special agreement with the NFL, so they provide these playbooks to Madden. So they're not fictitious playbooks. I noticed that there were 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 teams that actually run the option right now. Out of 32, there's really only 9. Arizona, Baltimore, Buffalo, Cleveland, surprise, Kansas City, the Giants, which we talked about there.
I don't know why you're laughing. That's obvious.
Well, I'm saying that's, Daniel Jones, Philly, San Fran, and Tennessee. So those are the teams that actually have the option in their playbooks right now, and probably only Baltimore, San Fran, and Tennessee are really looking for maybe will change their quarterbacks, and
so
maybe
of the 9 teams that have the option in as part of their system, only 2 of those teams are still looking for a quarterback, or 3?
I'm saying 3 because I'm including Baltimore.
Okay.
Right? San Fran. Okay, I'm including San Fran. That's not out of the realm of possibility from what I'm hearing out there, even though I think it's out of the realm because we don't have any first-round draft picks. And Tennessee, I think if he, Tennessee is a team that could upgrade with Lamar without, too much of a problem with the starting quarterback in place. But everybody else pretty much has their quarterback all set. It was very interesting that some of these teams that had pistol, I was assuming if you had the pistol in your playbook, you were running the option. Not true. No. A number of these teams, Carolina, Cincinnati, Dallas, Detroit, Houston, San Diego, Miami, the Jets and Philly have the pistol, but they don't run the option out of it. There's no option plays in their pistol formation. They run like the Giants and Philly run their option out of the shotgun. Now, it also became completely obvious, and it probably is obvious to most people just from the eye test, that the formation du jour is the shotgun nowadays. Of all the formations that each team has, over half of them are shotgun. The other really popular formation is the single back. I don't particularly use the single back a lot. I think you have to have a certain type of running back, the single back, unless you're running a lot of pulling guards and pulling tackles and things like that, that will replace the fullback. But most teams still have the I formation. 25 out of the 32 still run the I. So there's still a place for a fullback. And that's not including the strong I and the weak I, which again, utilizes the fullback. So the fullback does have a place. I like fullbacks. Obviously, with the Niners, we have a great fullback in Juszczyk. But I was a little surprised, that it's still there. It's a basic fundamental formation. I was surprised that they had the pistol in as many teams formation book that they had, that they didn't run the option. If you're a Madden person and you're looking to add the option to your, to your attack, you have now, which 9 teams to go with, at least for the 2023. Now it'll be interesting to see what happens in 2024. I'll look at them again and see what changes are there. But it takes a special sort of skill or training to run the option. You just don't throw it at any, a quarterback who never did it and expect that he's going to master it in a short period of time. It's a little tricky even as a Madden player because the button sequences become a little more complicated. But your reads, now most teams are running the run pass option, the RPO. That's pretty popular. Okay. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about where the quarterback does the run. But even with the run pass option, and there's only maybe 1 or 2 that has a triple option in there. Most of them are just straight run options or RPOs in there. So that's kind of where these teams, where their head is at currently. Couple surprises. There are 4 teams who only have 2 formations. Shotgun and single back. They don't have any of the other formations. That's Tampa Bay, Minnesota, Indianapolis, and the Rams. They pretty much operate out of 2 formations. Arizona, Jacksonville, and Philly only operate out of 3. And Dallas has the most formations at 7. Everybody else is kind of in that 5 to 6 formation. They got.
Can I ask a question?
Pistol. Sure.
You getting this from Madden?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was telling you. This is a Madden discussion, but it was inspired by the seeming lack of interest in Lamar Jackson. And I was wondering what teams are really sort of already there to accept a real running quarterback and run that option with him. And there was only 9, Now, of the rest of the 32 teams, most of them have their quarterback in place. So there's not a lot of places for him to go, if they're going to run option. He's going to step into a few where he's going to have to be a pocket quarterback, and unless they're going to really change their system for him. So that's what I'm looking for, to see what teams are going to step up. And I have an idea about whether they're option teams or not, and whether they're willing to change their system. And like I said to you, with the Niners, I noticed as the 2023 Madden came in, that they had options built into the playbook that were not there the year before. And that was like, when they knew Trey Lance, or when Trey Lance was planned on being the starter, that's, now they have all these options built in. But before that, they really didn't have them as part of the playbook. So that kind of knowing that they make these changes and they will make these adjustments, I just decided to take a quick look and see. But it is interesting just to kind of see who's doing what. If you're a Madden player, you kind of, if you're looking for a lot of formations, Dallas is the place to go. If you want to keep it simple, you got a couple places with only 2 or 3 formations. A lot of plays, you still might have the same number of plays, 26, 27 plays out of that playbook. Now, I know they have thousands of plays in their playbook, in real life, but, effectively, these are broken down to formations, and you get about 4 to 5 per formation in the game. So, and the other thing I noticed that was interesting, the teams like Miami, who came from teams like the Niners, have very similar playbooks. When I was looking at the formation, I'm like, I know these plays, I know these formations. So yeah, the Niners, they're really, really spreading that Kyle Shanahan tree is really spreading throughout the NFL. So it's going to be interesting to see how that happens. Let's get ready to move over to free agency, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on with that.